Hello and welcome. Dark Souls 3. Definitely keen to see how we go today. So we're currently working on Nameless King. I think we have pretty good strategies for the first phase. Still a little bit in it that it can get a bit weird, but I don't think there's nothing we haven't seen or dealt with. Phase 2, we've had a couple of, I think we've gotten to, well, I've gotten to phase 2 once or twice. It may have been off stream, which seemed interesting. There's a couple of components to it. The transition phase, so you start off at quite a distance from him and you can do some weird stuff. So it's just about getting that initial engagement. I think one of the sticking points of the main sort of meat of the fight of phase 2 is when he decides that he wants to disengage a little bit. Previously I have been simply walking towards him, running towards him and re-engaging, because he doesn't usually end up that far away from you, but he'll usually have an interesting follow-up once you get close enough, and I feel as though we've died quite a bit to that. And one of his really easy to punish attacks, in fact it's one of the attacks that we can punish with 2 R1s, is here when he jumps into the air and does a big sort of pokecher. If you sort of know how to strafe it or dodge it correctly, you can end up right near where he lands, and he has such a long wind down, you hit him twice. So what I'm going to try and do is, we're going to focus on, when he decides to disengage with his sort of like big wind-up attack where he sort of does a sprint away from you. We're going to try and keep disengaged and let him re-engage rather than us re-engage. And we'll see if we can bait out that attack, because it only really triggers if you're a distance away from him. And I feel as though that's going to be the optimal way to re-engage. Yep, see how it goes. Probably take a little bit of time to get used to the mechanics a little bit. It's certainly a fairly complex fight. Even phase 1 just has little intricacies. He's going to take off, so we'll see what he does here. It is weird. Basically, when he takes off like that, the first thing we need to try and ascertain is how he's going to follow up with his landing. Is he going to do something weird like he has here the last 2 times? Or is he going to be idle? He's idle when his sword stays horizontal. So he's going to follow this up. So I have actually tried a RTSR run of this. I don't know if we're going to try and be too fancy and win the fight that way. I think it's possible, but it's such a long fight, and it's quite interesting as well. It has a bit of AoE that we can get caught in quite easily. That doing it that way is probably a bit of a risk. And phase 2, I don't think I know phase 2 well enough for it to really matter. I think I'd rather be able to tank hits while we're learning it. And yeah, I think it is realistic though. The thing is with phase 2, especially with my level of armor and poise, see what he does. Is it weird? It is weird. With my level of poise and armor, if he hits me in phase 2, it's a bit of a gamble as to whether or not I survive, because he likes to like vary his follow-ups quite a bit. So he's disengaging from us here. Okay, so it looks like it can trigger that attack. So just wait for a heal time here. So yeah, we might have to look for a... we might have to really watch for it, like really see, like he's ended up quite a way away from us this time. Yeah, so he'll do that attack when he's at a distance from us. A bit lucky there, I think. When he does that attack, we do have to move towards him a little bit to get the follow-up, because he ends up just a little bit too far away from us. Okay, so it looks like we're in phase 2 now. Oh, I might be dead here. Yeah. I healed and then I did a bit of a panic roll, but getting phase 2 there is nice. It doesn't really inspire me with that much confidence. I think that he does have the capacity to kill us really quickly in phase 2. There's not much forgiveness, and yeah, I think it really just depends on... like, there's a real rhythm to it, and if I break rhythm, we can get kind of unlucky, especially whenever we have to heal. But yeah, so we saw there when we kept he disengaged from us and he kept disengaged. He did one of his transitional attacks. So does he do anything weird here? Yes. Ooh, man, missed the timing there. Usually he doesn't do the swipe attack. I think when the swipe attack hits you and you're sufficiently close to it, it is a one-shot even with this ring set up. Usually it isn't. But a bit unfortunate there, but that's okay. So the main goal for today is going to be when we disengage in phase 2 from each other, figuring out how to re-engage efficiently. I think the answer is going to be to let him do it, because there's going to be a good chance he tries to follow up with something that we can punish, rather than running directly towards him and you know, going from a sprint to having to roll against him is quite dodgy. Okay, so this is Calamite attack. So this is one that can kill me. I'm gonna run directly towards him. I think it's the safest thing to do. Does he do anything weird here? Yes. I was a bit early there, but I think I was far enough away when I dodged. Bit of an early dodge there, but we get plenty of iframes in this game. Sometimes it's okay, especially with slower attacks. Being a bit fancy there and not dodging. So yeah, we noticed that how he has his sword in a horizontal position. It's safe to punish him. Let's see what he does here. It is dangerous. But because I, you know, when I re-engage with him, you know, I'm sprinting towards him. It's a really nice way of avoiding his thunder attacks. Nice. So he's quite a distance away from us. Let's see how he decides to re-engage. Looks like he's really... Here we go. Damn. I feel as though that should be really easy to dodge. I think I need to dodge a little bit later for that attack when he does it. But yeah, that's the kind of thing we're looking for. He has, I think he has 2 attacks where he'll jump into the air. That one looks to be like a much faster one. So he doesn't go vertically upwards, he doesn't directly jump upwards. He sort of does a, you know, like a, at an angle, like a jump at an angle. It can be very dangerous when he decides to open this weird stuff. Let's see if he follows it up. No. Okay, so let's see what he follows this up with. Nothing. Okay, so you got me there. Okay, so let's see what he does. Early riposte here. It's pretty rare that this actually happens. But yeah, it looks like we'll safely get to phase 2 here again. It's nice. That's a more dangerous start to the fight, in my opinion. Yeah. That's right, you know, we'll take those losses. I think it will take time to really sort of master, you know, what are his slow attacks, what are his fast attacks. Unfortunately, there are some pretty obvious cues for it. The wind-ups will be a bit different in terms of speed, and also I think that he will grip his sword spear thing a little bit differently depending on what he's planning to do. But that's an example there of the transition being quite difficult to deal with. You know, ideally you'd start the fight right next to him. The fact that you have to close the gap complicates things a bit. Okay, his Calamite attack. So he will try and sprint as close as possible to him to re-engage, because he can get a bit weird here, like this. So I might actually just keep a bit of distance, and try and, yeah. That can be really dangerous, because I can sort of lose visibility of what he's doing quite easily from that position. And that was quite lucky there too. I think that sometimes you often get lucky when he decides to follow up his overhead slam. Because what happens is, you know, my muscle memory is to sprint into him once he does his overhead slam, and I think that gives you the positioning to avoid his follow-up naturally. So just sort of rewarded for playing a bit badly there, based on his own mechanics. Bit of a development from the start of, you know, these attempts. I have started. Oh shit. Yeah, okay. I have started triple punishing his breath attack. That was nasty there. That is something that, you know, does kill us from time to time. When he does his jab, he can follow it up, and my natural instinct for any of his attacks is to make sure that I'm, you know, sort of dodging towards him in one way or another, and depending on my position there, if I'm a bit far away from him, and he decides to follow up with his electric attack, it can be super dangerous. Let's see what he does. Very difficult attack to dodge if you're sort of in like his left hand quarter. Okay, so he's following this up. Yeah, I'm glad that he likes to change things up occasionally. It gives the first phase quite a bit of flavor, which is nice, keeps you on your toes. But overall, it is a fairly consistent first phase, you know, with really good telegraphs and you know, obvious timings for punish. Okay, so let's see what he does. So I think that's the one shot actually. That particular attack can one shot me. He's not going to follow it up. He will follow this up. This might go to second phase. Maybe not. Okay, we might have to close the distance here. Get one. I think in the future I might stop trying to do that actually. Because you just end up in a really awkward position with the camera. Lucky to survive there. See if we can re-engage here. Lucky to survive that. I think maybe the terrain saved us a bit there. Okay, yeah. I feel as though we definitely didn't deserve to progress in that phase. We just played bad, but you know, getting to see a few different attacks is nice. And how they work. I certainly think it's going to be safer to only punish in his second phase at really specific times. So for example, you know, sprinting back into him there. Things got a bit weird. The double punish there is a gas out, which is, you know, I don't like. But yeah, got me. You get really lazy with that dodge, because it's not a very dangerous attack, but also, I think just sort of sprinting in any particular direction naturally avoids it. So we'll see what he does here. Nothing dangerous. Yeah, so with Red Tear Stone Ring and Warcry, our damage, our R1s go up to 370 damage, which is quite substantial. Just gonna follow it up. I'm glad that the physics of the dragon allow you to actually run through the head. I could be dead here. Alright, really lucky there. Slow reaction. Didn't expect that. Usually he only does that attack after, like immediately after he lands, like here. So we will kill him with this follow-up here, so we'll go for it, breaking our rule, but when we know we can kill him, we may as well. He has a lot of one-shots in that phase, and you know, if we get a guaranteed kill, we'll take it. So let him re-engage here. That was really ugly. I was gonna hit, but I would have gassed myself. You know, one frame can be the difference between living and dying. Kind of expecting a phase 2 here. I'll see. Yeah, I don't really have to be... Oh, here we go. Alright, so I think we're going to get an opportunity to practice a new attack of his here. It's a really weird attack. It looks like he's resonating, like this. It's a Nito attack. So we haven't really been into the meat of this phase 2. Yeah, so he took his time there. Kind of threw us off guard. So let him re-engage. Could be super dangerous. Okay, so Nito attack. Weird. Let him re-engage. Nice. Nito attack. Oh, not like this. Oh, not like that. I think with the Nito attack, you know, a few frames after he sends the lightning bolt into the sky, we have the opportunity to dodge. And I was getting super greedy there. I was trying to get fancy and dodge right at the last minute. It's not something that you want to dodge once the lightning comes out of the ground. I think as soon as that happens, it hits you. But yeah, that was a good attempt. I think probably 2 R1s away from victory, but you know, I'll take what I can get. And learning a bit more about the second phase is good. Got caught off guard there. Didn't really know what he was going to do with after his idol. But now we know that he basically has the same moveset with a couple of other moves that are really telegraphed thrown in. Should have gone for 3 there, that's alright. Let's see what he does when he takes off here. Nothing. I don't know, like if anyone watching has played this, if you're super close to being hit by that particular attack, your controller vibrates, which is kind of cool. Don't want to speak too soon, but I think because he doesn't favor his standard sort of hectic combos in phase 2, he tries to throw in a few more of his big attacks, which are quite well telegraphed. I think it is probably a little bit more straightforward. Similar to how Alone is, Sir Alone, in Dark Souls 2. His phase 1 attacks are the really scary ones, and all he does by adding the new attacks in is makes his scary attacks less frequent. So he's going to do something weird here. Alright, well, what will he do? Something weird. Nice. So really the goal here is just to keep learning the fight. So let him re-engage here. So we attacked right into something that was already wound up. So definitely our fault there. His jab, his overhanded jab attack is definitely something that is a bit of a sticking point. But I'm really keen to, you know, the detriment of his second phase. I think the hard part about his second phase, he has such a repertoire of attacks that he sometimes doesn't do all of them, and you don't really get to practice. That one will be a really good one to practice, I think, because we should be able to circle strafe it. Anything which is a single directional jab, like a spear attack, can be strafed in these games, and I think there's going to be 1 or 2 R1s that are free once we can master it. And honestly, I think it's going to be, in terms of his standard phase 1 repertoire, it's the last thing I really need to learn, I think, for phase 2. Or for that part of phase 2. So let's see what he does here. Something weird. Definitely have to be super careful looking out when he follows that attack up. Yeah. One thing I did learn during this fight, in terms of the general game, is that Warcry's buff appears in your effect icons, along with your item effects. Let's see what he does here. Yep. Very poor timing. That's alright. No shame in being hit. So if we can stagger him here, we'll be going to phase 2, but I don't know, you must have to hit the face directly to stagger him. That was definitely a face hit. Alright, let's see how this goes. Don't normally get hit by that. Okay, yeah. No worries. I think the reason I got hit by that is because I kind of hesitated as to which direction to go. I think I just need to go in whichever direction feels natural. But yeah, it's a kind of interaction that makes me think that RTSR is, you know, not a bad idea, because a lot of the attacks we're dying to are one hits anyway, and furthermore, even the hits that we aren't getting one hit by, it sort of breaks our poise a little bit, and gives him a really nice window to, like, if he does a fast follow-up, like, we have to get super lucky to be able to live after a heal. Not super lucky. I'd say it's more than 50% that we live, but it's definitely not guaranteed. Okay, so this is Calamite attack. So we're gonna run into him and favor one of his sides, like basically try and run around him. Okay, so he's just gonna do a regular takeoff. The direct face hits definitely do more damage, so I'm starting to think that that is the key trigger for stagger. I don't mind the fact that you have to not lock on in this fight. When I played Dark Souls 1 for the first time, due to my inexperience, for a lot of bosses I didn't favor the lock on. So even Artorias, first time I did Artorias, I didn't lock in at all, which I wouldn't recommend, having done it a few times since. So we'll see what he does here. Nice. So I think it is the face hits that get us the stagger. Let him re-engage. Very lucky there. What a good fight. Managed to catch it there, which was nice. I think being directly behind him isn't great. It's hard to tell what he's doing. Okay, need to attack. Dodge. Oh. Yeah, okay. So yes, it looks like we're going to need to give it a few frames. You know, once he sticks his stick in the air. There might be an audio cue as well. I'm not unhappy that I died there. I think that was a very ugly phase 2. If we are going to let him re-engage, we're just going to have to be really conscious of the fact that he can send that AoE thing towards us. That got us a couple of times, I think. The temptation that I have is to actually go to over 30% equip load and equip something like one of the Silver Knight pieces, which will give us lightning res, lightning absorption, on top of our Thunderstone Plate Ring, and we might be able to survive that attack, but I think it's better that we learn just how to dodge it, like it's telegraphed. Like, it's not catching us by surprise, like we know when it's coming, so does he do anything weird here? No. It's taking off. What does he do? Does he follow this up? He does. Nice. Always good to get a clean phase 1. Nice and quick. So let him re-engage here. Let him re-engage. I don't think it's totally necessary, but if we can bait out a nice attack, it's good. And we do die a lot. Nice, so we saw that coming. A couple of delayed attacks just catching us off guard there, but you know, not bad, not bad. And we are starting to get the transition. Sorry, not the transition. We're starting to get the telegraph for his nasty jab, but it looks like if we can circle strafe it, we will have the opportunity to double R1 punish it, which is really nice. Especially in the first phase when our DPS isn't very high. Well, actually, in either phase, the DPS isn't going to be very high, but he seems to do a lot more volume of attacks in the first part of his second phase, so the ratio of DPS isn't there. Whereas in the second part of his second phase, because he does fewer attacks, sort of per sequence, we're just doing more damage. So we have to be careful here. So you can follow up with the electric attack, and if we don't dodge that one in the correct position, we can get caught in it. We don't have a, you know, it's just going to be like a standard 2.5-3 hour stream today, so I can't be 100% confident that we'll beat him today, but I think it's within the realm of possibility. So we'll see what he does here. The fact that we are dodging that more consistently, you know, is raising the temptation for RTSR, but I think it's still pretty dangerous in the second phase. Yeah, see, like that. You have to really be sprinting towards him to dodge it and get out of the AoE. Nice, so we'll go to second phase here. See what he does. Doesn't want to do anything. Nice. Okay. Yeah. That was, I mean, I'm not particularly happy about that happening, but I wanted to test there if we could simply just do a sprint strafe, and it looks like we can, and get a couple of R1s. But yeah, just dodging there. I think what we have to focus on doing is he likes to do his attacks in twos or threes, typically twos. Ooh, misread that. That was scary. I thought it was going to be his electric attack. So we'll see what he does here. This is a good position. That was just a intuitive roll, let's call it. MF roll. Just between you and me. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch how he decides to follow up after his first attack. It'd be nice to know what kinds of attacks he can... I won't punish that. I'd rather keep an eye on him. I mean, for that reason exactly. I'll only go in for the punish there, I think, from now on if it's going to kill him. Didn't have to do that. I think, yeah, it was probably going to be 3 hits to kill anyway, so bit of a waste. That's okay, we haven't, in the meat of phase 2, we haven't really found Warcry timings that I really like. So we'll let him re-engage here. Yeah, so if we get good and lucky and he does that, great for us. So once again, re-engage. It looks like a middle distance is going to trigger it. Yeah, normally we could go in there, but just go for 1R1. We'll let him re-engage. Let him re-engage. Let him re-engage. It's probably a decent time to Warcry. Nice. That was a really fast follow-up. We'll have to be really careful of that. Might be going to second phase here. Yep. Okay. Damn. Damn. Annoying timing. Annoying timing. I think it's worth the risk to sprint. I'm really keen to see if sprinting will get us out of the way of that. Because if it can, that's a nice little hack. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think there was a no damage, like all the way through that, which is quite nice. But yeah, that attack there, our deep runs have been stopped by it consistently, so we'll get through this fine here. Thought I was going to gas out, but I'm not. He's going to take off, we'll see what he does. The trick with that attack, I think, is being ready for it and understanding when it can come. And it comes most of the time when he does that little takeoff. And yeah, I think we found... I think the strategy's nice. Like, it's nice on a number of levels. The strategy of letting him re-engage is nice because he'll sometimes give us something we can punish quite decently. Lucky he didn't decide to do his electric attack there. I feel as though I would have been out of position. Yeah, the other reason why it's nice is, like, we can get the DPS, which is good, but we can also Warcry. Because nothing he'll do from that position will come at us super quick. And we may end up going back to Andre and respecking our shards. He's gonna take off. What does he do? Yeah, so if anyone's watching and you're looking for a really neat way of consistently avoiding that attack, knowing that it comes at that stage, and what you do is when he starts to take off, move into him a little bit to give him a bit of space to land, and then you'll get used to the amount of frames you need to do that for, and then you'll be able to get back into him. So we'll see what he decides to do to re-engage here. So we'll just need to be prepared for that. Can't complain with the riposte. Oh. So we'll let him re-engage, see what he has for me. Nice. So I'll give him one punish, but yeah, he can do this. Okay, so we're gonna test it. Alright, it doesn't work. Good to know. Good to know. It looks like we're just gonna have to dodge it. But yeah, it also gives us, the Warcry timing, which is really good, because everything that'll follow up with is highly telegraphed and slow. So I think that's a winning strategy. I actually think that if we get the win today, we can chalk it up to that strat. Well, that, and learning how to dodge his Nido attack. I have tried taking the Thunderstone plate ring off, because I've been getting one-shot by a lot of his second phase attacks. But if you do, you just get one-shot by even more of them, so I have tested that. So I'm not going to do that. So we'll see what he follows us up with. Doesn't follow it up. Shit. Skin of our teeth there. Interesting. So we're not going to go into punish here. I'll use it as a Warcry timing. Try and get him in a couple of hits. I don't think the Warcry was necessary. Always frustrating being hit by that, but you know, it is what it is. Just wanted to toy around with that. Looks like he can hit him on the snout when he's about to take off. Oh, okay, alright. Misread that, which is unfortunate. It's panic heal. Usually he starts with the wave. So as per our rule, we'll just get into position to let him re-engage. Feels though that was a bit wasted. Nice. So whenever he does that sort of mid-ranged one, it's a bit frustrating because it's not the best to punish. Oh, not the best to try and move into him. It's not super clean, but you know, we're getting there. Hopefully we can get to phase 2. That's an annoying one. That one's also a bit annoying. That's a bit unfortunate that we didn't get to punish that, but at least we get to practice this. Move in towards him. Ah, oh, damn it. That's right. That's right. Anytime where we can get through the first part of phase 2, I'll take it. You know, if we're doing that consistently, that'll be really good because he doesn't have too much more to offer us in the second phase other than the Nido attack. And yeah, it's just going to be learning how to dodge that. Start saving my war cries, and if it really is looking like it's helping in phase 2, I'll go to Andre. So we'll see what he has in store for us. This should be phase 2. Damn. I keep misreading that. Thank you. At least we get to practice and prove we can see it. Nice. So we have to be conscious of what he does here, because he can instantly follow it up with more jabs. Nose is really itchy. He just gives us a little short distance one there. It's running out of stamina there. Yes, that attack is a bit nasty, especially if he ends up a bit close to us. You know, we don't have too many frames to get out of the way once his wind-up is done. His initial sort of quick dash. Yeah. I think sometimes what's going to happen is we're going to dodge that a lot more if he ends up a bit further away from us, and we're going to get lucky sometimes. For today, I don't think I want to fixate too much on that attack. It doesn't happen too often, and more often than not we dodge it, so the sort of ceiling, the skill ceiling involved with that attack is you could potentially learn how to position yourself in relation to him so that he never ends up so close to you. We have to be careful here. Annoying, but you know, killed by the train. Yeah, at least we saw the jab and kind of reacted that he might be doing something a little weird and decided to back away instead of move in, because moving in I think is just significantly more dangerous. But the train being there just sort of killed us. But yeah, once again, I think if you're trying to hyperfixate on where the train is, it's just going to fuddle up the bits that you're kind of perfect at. So I'm not going to worry about it. Probably shouldn't Warcry. Leave that for phase 2 now. So we'll be just at the edge of it and we'll sprint directly towards him. Okay. So just get out of the way. We'll re-engage back to a position that we're more comfortable with. He's gonna take off. No follow-up. Definitely just felt bad. That's alright. Bit of a dirty phase 1 here, but it's good practice because he's thrown some weird stuff at us. And we behaved well, like, you know, we haven't been so frantic at getting back in front of him that, you know, we accidentally get caught by that fire breath that one time. No follow-up. Sweet. I think this should be enough damage. Yeah. So we're going to let him re-engage. Nice. So he's not going to flow that up. Let him re-engage. Bit of a too early. Damn, yeah, okay. Not gonna get discouraged there from that. We're just gonna get hit by weird stuff sometimes, that's okay. Alright, so let's see how this goes. This is good practice. So we're gonna disengage a little bit here. Yeah. So we can see there how important positioning is in this fight, particularly with regards to that attack. But we'll take it. Nice getting those headshots there. Usually they're just neck shots, but okay, what has he got for me this time? Let's see. Picks it up there. Nice. Super delayed attack. Essentially doesn't throw that one out as much as he normally does, but yeah. In a way, I am kind of glad that that super deep run we got kicked us back. there seems to be, you know, a bit more to learn in Phase 2, and that's kind of the goal for this. The result of doing level 1 playthroughs is that you learn the bosses, and I feel as though, you know, if that's your goal anyway, it's just the perfect medium to do it. And it should be treated that way, I think. So I like getting on the head a lot more than that. Like that time, it's good. And just spend a couple of extra frames. Almost forgot the third. Getting into position there to hit the head. So see what he does. So yeah, on that note there, so that happens a few times, where he tries to follow up that attack, and you end up getting away with standing in front of him. But most bosses can be circle strafed, and they have positions where the hitboxes don't reach, and it looks like it's just a consequence of how we're playing. That almost hit me. I felt it in the controller. So we'll see what he does. Nothing. That's a super delayed attack that got us last time. It does have a wind up. Stay away from the pillar. Okay, so I think potentially there it's probably going to be better to strafe to his right hand side rather than his left hand side, even though I have successfully done it on his left hand side before. I think if you're on the right hand side, even walking strafes it. But we were a little bit further away from him there, so it's understandable getting hit. Cool, so I kind of just stood there, which is unfortunate. Sort of taking the time to change the camera direction, but yeah. So you have to be careful. So it looks like he has quite a massive lunge with that attack. So I'm actually thinking that my strategy of keeping away from him when he does the thrusting maneuver is not correct. I think I actually need to do the opposite and sprint towards him. So we'll see what he does here. Does he follow it up? Nope. Nice. So this should do enough damage. Even if it doesn't, I'll be able to follow it up. Cool. Alright. Let's just keep following our rules and see how deep we can get. Getting dodges there on his super slow attack. Happy with that. So let's see how he decides to re-engage. This is ideal. And he's not going to follow it up. That was just late enough. He's not catching us off guard by that, which is good. Nice. So if he's going to decide to disengage from us, we're just going to keep doing this. Damn. I actually mistook that for the phase 2 opener. That, basically. Alright, so let's see if we can dodge this bullshit. Yes. This is a bit dangerous because we don't really know what he's going to do here. So it could be too soon, but it looks like it's basically the same shit as first phase. Fuck. Yeah, you know, nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. One of the things I'm going to have to do actually is get a little bit of DPS in him when he winds that attack up as well. Just take my pound of flesh. Because, yeah, it looks like he's going to do that pretty consistently during the second phase, and the longer the second phase goes, the more he's going to do it. And if it's a punish timing, then I can shorten the second phase. Simple maths. Okay, so we're getting a bit lucky here. If he'd followed up immediately after with that attack, we did the wrong thing, so... What can I say? Sucks to suck. So what's he gonna do? Classic. Try and get those headshots. Going for that 4th hit there, gassing myself out. I know that you can hit him 4 times there, but you do gas yourself, but he was going to die, so... What's he gonna give us? Nice. So I'll try and let him re-engage properly here. Come on, boss. Got me. They're definitely gonna try and not let this. Now that we have quite a bit of confidence in phase 2, I'm gonna try and not let deaths tilt me. I don't think they will, because we're not dying to anything stupid. You know, we're dying to things we know we can avoid, which is good. And fortunately, it is a fun fight. But because it's a rhythm fight in phase 2 and phase 1. Getting on tilt is not gonna be good for us. Okay. I knew that was coming, but bit of a nasty dodge timing there, so heal. It's just hard to see if I'm directly under him. I think it's kind of fun when he throws in that sort of weird stuff as well. Nice. So now that we're focusing on the head more, hopefully we'll start seeing, you know, more of these ripostes. And if you're just jumping in, the reason I'm not punishing that is that I end up in a sort of weird position. So I'm basically just trading damage for position, which is more important in this fight, I think. You do plenty of damage, you don't have to try and eke out every little bit. The double punish there, I think, was a mistake. If I didn't get the riposte off, he may have been able to follow up with something scary. So the reason for anyone joining, the reason I'm disengaging from him when he does that particular attack, it is because moving into it can be a source of death. God, that timing is nasty. So yeah, what we're doing is we're just letting him re-engage, and there's one attack that he'll re-engage with that gives us a really nice punish window. This one. There's just a bit of patience. Makes the fight a bit longer. Okay, so here we go. Very lucky there to dodge that, actually. I kind of panic dodged a bit early. One of my fears for doing this is that it breaks the rhythm of the fight a bit. He does wind that up more like that. Okay, this bullshit attack. Haven't seen that before, but we'll let him re-engage here. Shit. Terrain. Okay, didn't realize that happened. Deal with this bullshit. Terrain. Okay. Bit frustrating, but yeah. I think we got stuck in a chain of having to heal, but not bad, not bad. Just gonna take a quick break. Alright. We'll have one more attempt, and then I'll just have another quick break. We'll have one more attempt into Phase 2, Part 2. I'll try and get there, and then I'll just have another quick break again. I even want a drink of water now. Okay. It's where some parts of Fog Doors aren't actually accessible. Weird. But yeah, much happier with my attempts today than I thought was going to happen. I think we're learning Phase 2 a lot faster than I thought we were gonna. Yeah, that tracks. That's okay. No reason to be upset. We got plenty of Estus. Misread that, but caught it at the last second. Felt the vibration there, very close to being hit. Felt the vibration again. And obviously I'm just bad. Nice. So yeah, it looks like, you know, one of the things I was wondering about Phase 1 is the sort of weirdness of the stagger. And I think it's I mean, I don't know exactly how it works. It works one of two ways. Either certain parts of the body allow you to stagger it, or total damage on a meter. Either way it makes sense for the head, because, you know, the head is a sort of critical part of the enemy, but also it does the most damage when you hit the head, so maybe it's just filling the critical meter faster. It's getting the hair out of my eyes. Glad I didn't circle strafe there. It's a sign that I'm maturing in this fight. Because I was too far away. And I was going the right direction as well, as opposed to left. Went right. It's that big power attack, super dangerous. Happy that we're dodging it. This is what we want. See, that's what we want to avoid. We want to avoid getting hit by that. And the scary thing is you can actually follow that up. So we'll have to be careful here, because a couple more hits, he's gone to Phase 2. Pick that up this time. Oh, I hate that. I hate that timing. Yeah, okay, that tracks. Just got a bit freaked out. But it's good that we dodged that that AoE. Last round we discovered that it does have like a pulse, So if you decide to be too far away from it when it strikes, when he strikes his big lance, it has those little sort of beams that shoot off. But yeah, I think if you're right next to him when he does it, those beams have no chance of hitting him. They originate too far away from him, I think. Annoying. Oh, rolling there. That's could be bad. Yeah, okay. Oops. I went for a heal preemptively because it'll store it, but accidentally swiped the B button. I was really impressed with Pontiff and Dancer. Really impressed with Pontiff phase 1 and Dancer, both phases. But I would say that this is going to be the best designed boss so far. I'm keen to hear what the general consensus is about it. I suspect he is the favourite for a lot of people. And I suspect he's considered decently hard even in a regular playthrough. I think he might end up being the longest fight for this playthrough so far. Okay, so we're going to back off to the side a bit and let him kind of re-engage with me. It's interesting because the camera happened, just the way I played, the camera happened to be pointing directly upwards, and yeah, I think that I'm not used to that, and I'm not used to visually actually being able to see that attack. It just has a sort of natural timing to it that I have come to understand, but seeing the attack threw that off, I think, a little bit, which is really interesting. Best part of these boss fights, I think, is how it teaches you to behave. One analogy that you can use, which is also a Souls type analogy, is this game teaches you not to trust things like walls or chests or community messages. Shit. Yeah. That's going to be a really hard combo to avoid, unfortunately. It throws off the position of where you need to be for the lightning slam attack. But I think it is possible. I think what you have to do is you have to notice it, dodge in, and have sprint stored, so that you're sprinting after the dodge animation, and that way you end up very close to underneath the dragon's neck. I can definitely see most players getting very frustrated with the fact that they have to get through phase 1 before they can get to phase 2 and really learn it. I definitely think phase 1 is, probably out of the sort of hard bosses, the easiest phase 1. But if you're not doing massive damage to him for whatever reason, it's still an interesting fight. And if you don't learn it properly, stuff like that can very easily just catch you off. We're not going to punish that. Like, just things like that, you know, like if you were reduced health in a regular playthrough and you decided, oh yeah, I'm going to punish that, I reckon the chances of you dying are just huge. Because you can't see anything. I think the benefit of doing it soul level 1 is that you learn like just how punishing certain behavior is in this fight. And you learn a bit, you know, just in general with soul level 1, you learn how to manage position a lot better. So I could have circle strafe there, but it is what it is. Not dead, so I can't complain. I love this position next to the pillar. Nice. Really careful of the stamina though. So it does look like you have to be more in front of him for him to want to follow up on that attack. So I misread that. I thought he was going for his annoying attack that keeps hitting me. This one. Ah, just a little bit too late. It's a hard one. It's tough. It's a hard attack to dodge. It's very nasty. It's quite a sticking point. Like I'm just amazed at how much damage it does. Of course, I don't actually have that much health. I have less health than what it looks because of how I'm getting it. It's from the oh, what's it called? The prisoner's chain. And it increases your health stat by 5, but it also increases the amount of damage you take. Which honestly I think is just a little clause they put in there to deter people from wearing it, even though it's an excellent ring at low level. It's interesting because you get it after doing quite a late game area. You get it after doing champion Gundyr, and I can't imagine that, you know, if you're level like whatever, like say 70, 80, however much is normal for that area, I can't imagine it being very good because I think its use, its sort of benefit is only good if you're low level, because you'll reach the soft and hard caps for vigor, and then all you're doing really is just taking more damage. So it is unfortunate that attack's sending us back to the Shadow Realm. Fuck, this could be bad. He could still do it here. Okay, so he's being generous. He's being a benevolent lord today. Didn't follow it up. It's caught out of position there again. Yeah. Felt as though I'd get hit by that. That was also really early, that dodge. Very good. I actually said I'd take a break after a deep phase 2, but whoops. Yeah, okay. That's right. I think that we haven't been to phase 2 for a bit, and I think we popped a few deaths there, I think. Or actually, maybe we didn't. No, I think that was off the back of a good phase 2. But yeah, that timing on that that delayed attack isn't easy, but it is something that we've done. Like, I'm not frustrated by that. It's something that we know, so... You almost got us there with that one. Nice. That's how you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to dodge in. Lucky not to get hit there. Very early dodge. So let's see what he does here. Nice. I prefer that attack to be during the bulk of the fight. Because it just maximizes the amount of damage it does. Like if you get him down to, say, like 100 HP, a full riposte is totally wasted. So the headshots, I think, are good. Didn't go for the punish there, felt a bit dangerous. Like him to give me something interesting. Nice. Bit of an unfortunate sequence there, missed a couple of hits, but... Yeah, okay. Far too early dodge there. I think when I'm at a middle distance from him, that attack is actually quite dangerous. Because the timing for it, I think, is, you know, just after he starts launching himself. And if he's so close to you, you have very little time, very few frames to actually get out of the way. That's alright, I think that was a half decent phase 2, or phase 2 part 1. He'll do his Calamite attack. So I'll try and get, probably, I don't think we need to get super close to him. Alright, so he's just going to do a regular takeoff. When the hitboxes work in your favor, it's quite nice. Shit. So I didn't behave correctly there. Yeah, okay. I really need to maybe just start sprinting to avoid that attack. It's just annoying getting hit. It's a bit of a silly attack to get hit by. Gimmick attack. Damn, stored attack there, not good. Okay, so let's see what we can see. We're gonna start off like this, are we? It does slow down the fight quite a bit, but I think it makes the fight a little less dangerous. Stored roll there, not good. Lucky to not get killed there, I think. That's right, we'll take that on the chin. Calamite attack. Definitely a weird one to throw down now. So this might kill him, so I will go for it. Yep. That's good, that's exactly what we died to last time, so we'll take that. Ooh, that's lucky. I put my finger on the B button. Okay. That's right. I think we've been dodging that pretty consistently, so not a big deal. So let's see what he follows this up with. Always weird when he lands a little bit too close to you. That's why I like to run forward a little bit when he starts winding up his regular takeoff, his little takeoff. Just so I can get a gauge on what he's doing. But for some reason, sometimes he just lands too close. No follow-up. Take off. Sweet. You always have to wait a little bit before punishing the double attack, because it can be followed up with that. Nice. Bit lucky there, I think a bit early. And we were a bit out of position there, more than I'd like to be. God, I hate that attack. Really shouldn't have done that either. Kind of a shame there that I hit the riposte. I was ready to circle strafe that. That was a very quick follow-up. Damn it. Whenever... Yeah, it's a good fight overall, I think. There's a lot to like about it. How's it going? Whenever I get about that close into the fight, I always choke on the timing of his Nito-style lightning attack. Yeah. I mean, he'd done it a couple of times. Like, I think I'm kind of used to it-ish now, but whenever I get him that far, I just choke. It's so depressing. I think there was one attempt where I think it was 2 R1s away from victory, really early on in the stream, and yeah, he got me with it. That's a really dangerous one there too, where he does his poke attack and he follows it up with his lightning slam. You really have to dodge into him and get as far, like as close as possible to him. Yeah, otherwise you get hit by the full force of it or the AoE. He's a bit too far under him. I'll take off. Nice. It's always good to get the riposte during the fight. Because if it's right at the end, it's sort of a waste. And I never go to punish that as well, because if you do, you just end up in such a lousy position. You can't really see him. No! You got me. I do think that this is the best design boss they've done. So far, at least. I think I have, after this one, 2 main game bosses to go, and then it's done. And then the DLC. But yeah. I think he's really good. Yeah, I suspect it'll be hard. I'm keen to see what the actual levels are like as well, because I'll probably be the, like in terms of scaling, the most hardcore. Like, so the mob enemies and the mini-bosses. Let alone, like, the bosses themselves, which will be really difficult. The ring setup we have on now, though, is really good. So Lloyd's Shield Ring and Prisoner's Ring. I've also got Steel Protection and Thunderstone Plate, just going full defense for this. Okay. So I've got to let him sort of turn for me here, because it all gets really weird when he does that sequence of attacks. But yeah, these rings are keeping me alive, which is nice. Most of his attacks still one-shot me, but it gives me a little bit of relief, I think. So there's no follow-up there. Bit of an early dodge, but that strategy works really well. Annoying that hit. Usually circle strafing works, or just sprinting works. That's right, it's not a one-shot that hit, it's not a big deal. Yeah, exactly, if you just get one hit by absolutely everything, it makes it hard to learn. So that's what made Dancer ridiculously hard. Because you don't get any of the defensive rings. And you do get Lloyd's Shield Ring, but I wasn't wearing it when I was learning that fight. I should have been. Very lucky. Yeah, okay. Alright. Not a very good attempt, but I think that was one of his delayed, like super delayed attacks. Usually I can dodge it, but you know, sometimes you just don't. Yeah. Fatiguing. Yeah. I'm enjoying myself though, so it is all good. I found yeah, Dancer and Champion Gundyr. I found far more frustrating than this boss, far more difficult. So with Champion Gundyr, He has 2 in his second phase. I shouldn't have done that. Being distracted. He has 2 attacks in his second phase that look the same. His roundhouse kick and his Warcry Stomp. And they have the same wind up. And it took a very long time to be able to manage that fight to the point where I wasn't getting punished for not knowing the difference. Ugh, gross. And then Dancer was just stupid. I should have been wearing Lord's Ring for that. It would have made it a more pleasant experience. At least I'm not getting hit by anything that kills me. I know that you can parry Champion Gundyr, but I have not been going through this game parrying. I think that I'd rather just learn the fight. So I'll have to judge it here, but I think this will kill him. So normally I don't punish that, like I said before, but if it kills him, I'll just go for it. So the reason why we're disengaging there is because, so dodging that's really nice because that's what killed us last time. I won't attack there, I'd gas myself. So the reason I disengage here is because if I go in, he can do some really weird stuff. Like he punishes in a really weird way. And I find that disengaging from him and letting him do the work to re-engage is nice. Because some of his attacks can be punished when he re-engages. So I've got to be careful here. Oh, here we go, can I dodge it? Ah, that was good, but I think a little bit too late, if anything. Ah, come on. That's just a beautiful attack to get a couple of hits on him. But yeah, that one in particular, if we disengage and he decides to re-engage with that, it's a really consistent punish. And even if we end up a bit in front of him, it's even better, because he follows it up with the jab. Ah. I'd love to be able to punish that, but... Oh, that's right. So not circle strafing that jab is annoying, but I'll take just not getting hit by it. Okay, I haven't actually seen that attack before. So that was interesting. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, so it's pretty surprising that I haven't seen that. Oh shit. Oh, got him! Fuck yeah! Oh, I was about to back away. And I was about to back away. Hold on, what do we got here? That was a good fight too. I don't think I did any panic healing. I think I managed, even though I didn't do it, no damage. The next best thing is no panic healing. That was the sweetest victory. Phase 3. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now we can finally finish the main game. Or, I haven't quite decided how I want to do that yet. Oh, and I forgot to answer your question. I have not played Bloodborne. I suspect you've ducked out. So I'll wait for you to get back in if you come back before I answer that. We'll go into that. Alright, time to buy a fuck ton of shit. Actually, I think we can buy chunks now, so... Oh, let me look at my inventory. Because... Irithil Straight Sword. I thought it had a faith requirement. Oh, a Stora Straight Sword. I'd even be able to use that with Dex Ring and Karthus Milk Ring. So what I need to do is I need to determine, like, I'm pretty sure I heard that Irithil Straight Sword or the Astora Straight Sword are very good game weapons for level 1 in the late game. I mean, potentially even a rapier if I have it. I'm pretty sure I would. Huh. Would it not be with these weapons? Maybe I'm just thinking of Mail Breaker, which I don't want to use because I don't parry. Why am I doing that? Yeah, it looks like I don't actually have a rapier, which is weird. I would have thought I'd just naturally pick it up. Anyway, let me check my chunks. 13. I think you need 12 to go all the way with a weapon. What about raw gems? 3 raw gems, nice. So I'm very, very keen to take one of those thrusting weapons up to +10. I think I can get some slabs in one of the DLC. So I need 11 more chunks, and then I'd be able to take 2 weapons to +10. So I've got a lot of those, and I think a lot of gold pine resin. And quite a bit of, not much Carthus Rouge actually, which is weird. I thought I'd bought a ton of that. Might actually buy a heap of that, because if there's something that bleeds, then hitting it with reinforced club with that on it would be quite decent. Let's see if she sells any special items. No. I might take that up as well. Yeah.
SL1.
Sweet. Well, I'm going to take a quick break and then probably return, not for too much longer. We might just duck our heads into Grand Archives. What a great victory. Very, very happy with that. Yeah, keen to watch the VOD back. Throw a highlight down. So what we'll do is we'll just do a run on the NPCs. See if there's anything I can give him. I wonder if I can give him coals. It feels like I haven't done that in ages. No. Okay. Okay, I think I've heard this, and I think the other one he can't take either. Yeah. Which is odd. No, okay, alright. Didn't get any from him either. So what we'll do actually before Grand Archives is we'll go back here, because I think this opens up another area. There was a part of this level that I couldn't seem to access, and I think this is it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. So that this gate is now open. I like the design of this, actually. This is very, I'd be keen to see what kind of real-world plazas are actually built like this, but what comes to mind is either very Star Wars or very Hunger Games, very dystopian. So I wonder if it all ever built anything like this. Like big parade plazas. Ooh, nice. Titanite slab. So we'll be able to... I'll probably do a bit of research, figure out which one's the best. And we'll throw some upgrades down on a straight sword. So... I think I'm more or less done with this area. I think underneath here is the run-up with the dragon. Here the dragon would perch up there. I don't think that tower is accessible. But let's see what's down here, actually. Yeah, it's very cool that you fight above all this. Another item. Missed a lot, didn't I? Ooh, Ornstein's gear. Cool. And this looks like... Yeah, okay, I know where we are. Easy. And I think the Ancient Wyvern arena is down there, which I already explored, so I think I'm keen to get going, and we'll have a look at Grand Archives. I'll have to have dinner soon, but we'll just stream up until that point. And we'll see if being embered is worth anything. I haven't embered yet for any of the bosses, which I'm quite happy with. Yeah. I honestly don't know how much it would help me. Like, if I look at Nameless King, maybe it stops me being one-shot by some of those attacks. But anything that two-shots me, it's not going to matter, which is most of the stuff that was hitting me. Okay, so I think it is its own area? No, it must be High Wall. Must be Lothric Castle. Yeah. Alrighty. So I don't think I can go that way. Crystal Sage. So we won't chase, we'll just run back, see if we can hear her. So is that this way then? Like up there? This is definitely leading me into a trap. Crystal gem could be interesting. Crystal weapons are very powerful. Interesting. This guy's little axe probably does quite a bit of damage. Oh. Ooh. That's a classic item right there. That's got to be a callback to Dark Souls 1. Oh, was I wearing the crossbow? Okay, I wasn't mid-rolling at least. You'd think a headshot would make a quicken a little bit, but I guess not. It seems like a bit of an encounter designed to induce impatience. Would have liked to have gotten the double hit off there. Nice, nice. Now I could be ambushed in here by Crystal Sage. I love how these fellows are candles, and their poor little candles go out when they die. Oh, dunk head and wax. I'm not going to engage in any body modification, I don't think. So we'll pull this guy. Way too dangerous to fight here. I doubt that's going to help him at all. I'm pretty sure he most likely one-shots me. Anyway. Alright, let's see what we can do against this guy. This is one of the benefits, I think, of taking levels seriously in this game. I have fought many of these lads and kind of know the formula at this stage. Even though, so this guy has a lot of health and probably does a massive amount of damage with that crystal spear. The make or break in any fight is the moveset. There you go. And because I, took them seriously, I like to take mobs seriously. He was no problem. You learn where you can fight those enemies. You learn their movesets. You learn what they're weak to, what they're really strong at doing. Okay, I'm hearing the Crystal Sage again. Be keen to see what that's like in a mage playthrough. Oh, this is hyper late game stuff. Interesting getting a weapon this late in the game. Don't know if there was an alternate route. Oh, actually, I think there is. You have to go down back to the start. Oh no. We might be able to get that item there. Ooh, I don't think we went here. Kind of sounds like... Here we go. There you are. I was going to say, it sounds like one of these bastards are hanging about. Okay, so my memory is failing me. I don't know if I went to the end of this hall that had the knight. Ah, yes, I did. And there was a crystal chime. Okay. Too easy. Now, I can't remember. Grand Archives, did that have... Or the Duke's Archives in Dark Souls 1, did that have illusory walls? Accidentally went that way. We need to go this way. This place feels like it... Oh. Would be illusory walls central. So there's an enemy up there. Looks like a wax head enemy. Throwing down a couple of right thumbstick clicks. That'll just let me lock onto any of those dudes. I like how they're coming out of books. It's kind of cool. Okay, so if this theory is correct that I have, the brown books, this should activate. Yeah. Alright. So there's going to be no excuses for falling into that trap. Okay, so there's a couple of crystal lizards here. Usually they're going to pull you into traps. Wow. I feel as though that was very quick. And that's interesting actually, because this is a dead end. I could have gone up there. Ah, I see, yes, he was leading me into a trap. There's an enemy to my left. And I'm going to have to be careful of fighting in this area. Because of the books. So we'll see how we go. Alright, not too bad. Bit of an Estus tax, but not too devastating. Ooh. Interesting. Lots of crystal lizards. Lots of enemies. Potentially crystal sage up there. Something flapping about up there. I'd say definitely crystal sage. Now, sorry, that is a Dark Souls 1 item, because you have to drop down, most probably from some ungodly height. Alright. That's a bit hard to tell, isn't it? So probably happy fighting here, but this guy's stubborn. The game is telling him not to move, even though he's aggroed, which I do not trust. Well, let's test that. We'll try and kill him. They deal with 2 instead of 3. Very distrusting of this whole place. Okay, I'll try and get one whack off on this guy. Okay, well, we will retreat. And we'll grab that item. Titanite chunk, I'll take it. It'll stop me having to sink souls into chunks later. Okay, so this is... Once these disappear, I will go for this lever, because I'll have a bit of a cooldown. Alright. Very interesting. So because I cleared all that crap down there already, I think, I will go and investigate. Wow. Very cool. Gonna need to do better than that. Alright, so I think it's to my right that that bookcase went down. Here we go. Yep, here we go. So what does this yield us? Probably more death and destruction, honestly. It's not a mimic. Nice, another slab. So I think that's 2 slabs we have in our inventory now. So that was well worth it. It'll be good to take some of those weapons up to +10. So I'm thinking one of Astora or Irithil Straight Swords. Probably the Irithil one, because the Astora one has strength, dex, and faith requirements, which, even though I think I can get with rings, might not actually be able to get the faith requirement. Aggro little bastard. It's amazing how much they can just melt your health bar. Worth being very cautious with those guys. I think there's a door here. No, there's not, but... Alright. So I'm glad I got that guy. Our path forward has been revealed. We just need to patiently kill this guy. That full heal, even on Ember, is incredible. Nasty. I should have just pushed further downwards. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to run to that fog door. That's my first point of call. The Crystal Sage may still be here. It's getting a bit of damage there, which is good. We didn't actually explore this either, so... Yeah, nor did we explore that either. Interesting. Strange that I missed that. Let me think. I'm kind of doing a bit of exploring here when I shouldn't be. Taxing a bit of my Estus. So we're going to run past these guys. Might actually go for this little crystal lizard, even though I'll get slapped. Not worth it. Thinking that guy will always be necessary to kill. So what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna deal with that little bastard there. But there is one up here, I believe. Oh, his body just blocked me. His dead body. So what we'll try and do is we'll try and pull those two guys a little bit more cautiously, but it looks like we'll be able to run to that point, potentially taking very little damage on the way, which is good. My suspicion is that Crystal Sage will want to do another disappearing act. Okay, so the best way, I think, is this way. We did miss that item, actually. So it might be a little bit dumb to go get it. But I don't really want to have to come back here. Whoops. Yeah, worth it. I mean, didn't get hit by anything, so I don't think that guy will chase me. I'm hoping he doesn't, at least. It's nice that they didn't just put Deacons of the Deep there. Okay, we'll go for this guy in the corner. He disappears really quick. It's just Twinkling Titanite, not a big deal that I'm missing it. Alright, let's rinse and repeat that with the other dude. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I think this is going to be the strategy to get through here. I'm keen to see if the Crystal Sage retains the damage I do to her. I don't actually know if it's a her. I don't think Sage is binaric. Mean little daggers they've got. Kind of cool though. We'll go for him. I think what I need to do if I want to get that lizard is when I run up the stairs, favor the left a little bit more. It looks like it doesn't want to let my club through. I might war cry actually before going in for the kill on these guys. I should be able to 3-hit them. Don't think I can jump down there. Got a bit funky there. I don't know if I killed him either. I did. Panic heal. Shit, there's another one. Interesting. Dipping my head in wax actually might protect me from these attacks. So we'll pull these guys down. The bastard sword guys are very deadly. Very cool weapon animation. So I don't think there's anything else up on those stairs. Nice, nice, nice. Skin of my teeth there. Less than the skin of my teeth. Probably won't do this too much longer, but it's a really cool sequence. I like how it's... If you look at Ancient Wyvern, I think that is a gimmick boss done really well because it makes you think about how you're going to manage the terrain. Because you have to navigate through a level, and this is very similar to that, which is quite cool. Definitely see getting sick of this though. It's not the... Yeah. It's nice so that this sort of... I mean, I could probably run more of this. Let's go for the Crystal Lizard. Nice. Bit of a tax there on the Estus, but what can you do? I think using Warcry was really decent with these guys. I think I'm going to have to try and figure out and to get the timings on that correct. One thing to make this shorter, potentially, is to go straight up. Like, ignore these little settlement bastards. Yeah, okay, so it looks like he can't. Looks like they'll follow you straight up, which is fair enough. There's most probably a, like my anticipation is that what you could do with this fight is just follow her all the way up, like as far as she goes, and her final arena might be a little more conducive. To fighting. Might be a bit of a wasted Warcry there. I think it's probably better to have DPS against enemies that, you know, it's just not efficient to attack normally. So these candle wax guys that don't want to get 3 hit. I think I probably will actually go for the backstab on that guy if I can. If it sort of presents as an opportunity to, I think I will do that. So we need to get the other one. Bit annoying there. I don't actually know where he is. So... So we'll test out trying to get the backstab on this guy. So it looks like maybe not. Slapped me with his wax. Interesting. He wasn't actually looking at me. I don't think he'd aggroed yet, so that's a good piece of information. I think what I'm going to have to do is actually just go for Crystal Sage, get her to despawn, and then deal with that thing. Yeah, that's going to be the best way of doing that. Shame I didn't sort of figure that out. I actually think this is a better Crystal Sage than the first one. Probably really not necessary to go for the backstab on that guy, but it is giving it would give me the opportunity for to practice. Okay, we'll heal. Lucky there. That could have been really bad timing. So just dart up. Okay, so a Warcry. We're not going to be able to backstab this guy, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the triple hit after the sprint seems to gas us. Actually, sorry, I'm kind of doing this all wrong. Okay, so we don't want to bother with that. We'll go Lloyd's Sword. And we don't want to do that, but it's kind of a shame that we don't have a magic stone plate ring. Ooh, interesting. Well, what we'll do is we'll just trade it for damage. So we'll just go Flynn's ring, if I can find it. Nice. So this is more normal ring setup for me. I was wondering, I thought that the enemies here were a bit tanky. I don't think that ladder is going to be good for me. Potentially I could just go for Crystal Sage, but doing that while there's two guys standing there, nah. There's a lot more damage. Might even be able to double tap these guys with a Warcry. We can test that out on the first guy we encounter. Double tap would be really nice, then I won't have to worry about the backstab. Alright, let's see. No, unfortunately. Close, but no. But it'll be a... I think it'll be a natural 3-shot without Warcry. Risky blind heal. That's good to know. Even without Lloyd's shield, Lloyd's sword, we're getting a nice juicy one-shot, a 3-shot on him. I think the backstab might be a bit greedy, hey? Because if I miss it, I'm just wasting time. Might be able to get an R2 right in at the end there instead of an R1. But I'm not too worried about that. Very tanky, a lot of health. I think it was 1056 damage. And I suspect even Nameless King probably had 5k? Maybe a bit more. I think we can get that item actually, once we clear this out. So I absolutely should not be fighting him up there. That would have killed me. So I think this guy you just have to be aggressive into. Both of us getting a bit bugged out there. So this is really nasty here. Yeah. Don't want to do that yet if I can avoid it. Yeah, so it looks like there's going to be bullshit here. We'll cross this. Because I do not want to deal. Oh, didn't go too far. Nice. 20k souls for a mini boss, pretty good. I'm hoping, I think I have a clue as to where this is going. Okay, I was wrong. I see. So I have to be careful. Alright, so this does look like the start of the level, so I'm glad I came here. Bit of a shortcut. So there's a bit of stuff up here that'll be interesting to deal with. Behind the illusory wall, I think there was one of those Irithel straight sword dropping knights. Or a Stora straight sword dropping knights, one of the two. Confusing. I think this is the bridge, yeah, okay. So we'll go this way. Did I not kill that thing? Oh, interesting. Because I was supposed to. Alright, so, no, not you. I think it's back up the ladder. Doesn't look like a terrible arena to fight it in. Okay, take that back. Shitty arena to fight it in. Ooh, that looks like really cool armor. Nice. Yeah, should have seen that one coming though, with that arena. Good opportunity to make that a tome, I think. Alright, nice little mini-boss. Usually they're put in, I think the last 2 times we've seen them, they've been put in areas where you don't have an option but to fight them. So that's a bit strange, but we'll take it. It's interesting that it looks like it wants me to descend, which feels wrong. So that's back to the shortcut. I don't know if I want to fight this guy. Yeah, because this is a hardcore enemy. Should have dealt with the caster first. Man, that's some damage. Okay. Lesson learnt. Shit. Yeah, okay. I think I do want to kill him. A bit of a grudge against this guy now. I should be able to get to him without dealing with any other bollocks. If a crystal sage reappears. Meme time. I think I need to pick up my souls as well. If I kill him, I'll probably burn back. Okay, so who's here? So I don't know if this room really is big enough to fight him in. I'll just go for an R1 But I want to backstab him because he might fall off and that wouldn't be a good fight. Damn. Big overhead R2. Bit delayed. I think there's a lot of benefit in fighting these types of enemies. I know it seems unnecessary, and on a regular Soul Level 1 run you absolutely wouldn't do this. But the benefit of doing it is you just need to get good. I think that if I had just run through every area in this game and gotten to something like Dancer or Nameless King, it would just be a miserable experience. I just don't think you get good enough by running through the game. And because this is a first playthrough too, it's accentuated even more. Man, that's a lot of souls. Could investigate going for 2 R1s. That was good, that was almost blind doing that. Could have been dangerous. Not killing there is unfortunate, but... yeah, okay. Alright. I knew I didn't have much space up here. I had more space than I thought I did, but... close. I'm gonna have to prioritize getting those souls back though, because that's fucked. I would like to spend them. Probably on chunks. Hopefully the souls respawn in a, yeah, okay, better area. So I've got to be careful. Ooh, that could have been death if he had decided to follow that up. Well, it was death, but alright. Nasty. Strong enemy. But yeah, my basic philosophy is if you can't learn how to figure out these kind of fights, how you're supposed to learn, a boss fight that's actually hard. So it's worth doing them, I reckon. I think every single enemy in the game I've had to go out and manage to beat up until this point, so that's good. And I've beaten these guys as well too, the red-eyed Lothric Knights with the sword and board. They are the toughest, I think, of the mob enemies. Them and red-eyed Silver Knights. Very strong. I think there's probably a more decent safe backstab strat you could use against them. So there are some attacks that he can just poise through. Wow. I think the double R1 consistent punish is going to be really nice for us. Depending on how much stamina we have in the first phase when he can't really one-shot us, might even, like, depending on how much stamina we have, we might go for 3 R1s. Yeah, nice. So, cheap victory, but a victory nonetheless, and we'll take it. Hard to gauge the significance of this. I mean, no illusory wall. What's going on? Alright, those are the two interesting things I wanted to kill in this area. So how do I progress? Thinking probably this way. Not really afraid of this guy, I just want to get a gauge on what's here. Yeah, okay. So there's enough, basically. Going for the middle guy is certainly not the play. But who? It's awkward. It's a really awkward position. I'm actually thinking there's a fourth guy at the top of the stairs. I'm actually thinking that he's the one I have to go for first. A general rule of mine is whenever you have a bit of gank and whenever there's range in particular, going for the back one is usually the best. So dashing for the back enemy, so it's this way, is usually the best place. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get up there and kill him. Oh shit. Okay, so if we can survive this, I am instead just going to go back and spend these souls, because whoopsie. That was a mistake. So we're probably just going to dump this all into chunks, just so we're ready to go to +10 on something else. Let's figure out how many we need. I think she was only selling 4. Or maybe only 4 I could have afforded. 19 chunks. Wow, okay. So we need 12. So I'll need 5 more to get to 2 weapons to +10. Okay. 3k. Haven't had to use a resin for a boss fight either, which I'm here for. Like, I think that's great. Actually, Pontiff maybe was using a few resins, playing around with it. The Warcry has been great. I think I can see the bundles being really good as well, but I haven't really messed with them. So if I can't get to him, oh, it's tough. It's a very tough choice. Yeah, I think he was the right decision. It's the one I can get to the quickest. Fuck's sake. Okay. So don't follow him down there, basically. I think of all the areas so far, this has been the most naturally difficult. And in a really fun way, I think that this is probably the best design level yet. And it seems like there's a heap of stuff that needs to be opened up to me as well. But we're reaching the top here, so we're going for the middle guy. Might not go for him just yet. That was better. Damn. Classic Crystal Lizard. Almost cursed. I think I might have Cursed Spite Ring, actually. Could be worth it. I was gonna say, there's absolutely no way I don't get murdered out here. This is a trap. This looks like an arena. Huh. Nice. Yeah, I think in terms of difficulty, I would say that Dancer is harder than Nameless King. Even though Nameless King is a much longer fight, I think. I'd be keen to see that, actually. I think my Dancer fight was a little under 6 minutes. Okay. Might actually not fuck with this area. This feels like I should get a closer bonfire for it. So we might come back here at another time. Maybe. I do want to wrap up soon as well. Damn. Same way we came. Bit unfortunate. It's also a bit unclear as to how we should be proceeding. The curse is such a time tax. So I have to be able to get out up there some way. I think maybe I have to go around the outside. Yeah, I don't think that this is getting me anything. So I think this is going to be the critical path. Which feels weird, because I think feels like there should be another bonfire. Yep. Well, you lock on a death ledge, and that's what you get. If you're just joining us, welcome on in. We're just fiddling around with the Grand Archives. We've killed the Crystal Sage. Ooh, actually, can I? No, I can't. Can I? We've killed the Crystal Sage in here. But beforehand, we did manage to kill Nameless King, which was a great fight. I think probably the best designed fight in the trilogy so far. I don't think as difficult as Dancer. Also not as frustrating as some of the other fights either. So Osiris and I think Champion Gundyr were both a little bit more frustrating. Champion Gundyr has 2 kick attacks in a second phase, the roundhouse kick, as well as the Warcry Stomp, is what I call it. And they both have the same wind-up, so they can be difficult to tell apart, but the trick is understanding when he does either of those things. The roundhouse kick is a punish that he does. So if you try and, like if you're dodging his attacks and you try to move in for, move in behind him to punish him for something, he will roundhouse kick you. Usually, he won't use his Warcry as a punish. It'll be more of a normal attack. It feels like there's 2. I don't know, hard to see. But yeah, that was really, really annoying to figure out. Yeah, this is a different guy. And I found, figuring that out was more annoying than anything that Nameless King had to offer. But I would say that it's just better. I'd say Nameless King is just better designed. I think that the fact that you have that weird kind of convolution of wind-ups for those attacks is artificial-ish. But there's still a nice strategy there that you can use to win the fight, which is understanding when he does the 2 attacks. Oh dear. Alright, well, I'm probably gonna wrap the stream up. If you're just joining us, thanks. I will be highlighting the winning Nameless King fight. I think it's a good one. Just as a sort of recap of it, the first phase, pretty decently straightforward, I'd say. Of the hard bosses in this game, the first phase rates on the easier level. So if you look at Pontiff first phase or Dancer first phase, Nameless his first phase is easier than either of those in terms of the moveset. Second phase, I think he's an excellent fight. Definitely up there in difficulty. I'd say probably similar difficulty to Pontiff. Maybe a bit harder because he has a bigger repertoire. And also in his second phase, he kind of has two phases baked in, which is crazy. The sticking point in Nameless King, I think, at the end there, was his Nito style attack, if anyone's familiar with that. So he looks like he's resoning his spear, and then it has the cast, like the AoE thing that pops up out of the ground. So learning the dodge timing for that was tough, just because it's a phase 2 of the phase 2, and you have to push all the way there to practice it, so you don't get that much time to practice it. But we got there. Like, it wasn't that difficult to learn. I think we got there in a reasonable, in terms of that attack, I think it took a reasonable number of tries, just a handful. Overall, I'll have to look back, but I suspect I spent 5 to 6 hours on Nameless King. So I think in terms of the moveset, definitely the deepest of any boss, even Dancer, but I just think all the individual components aren't as difficult as Dancer. Yeah, and the two phases are completely different too. Like if you look at Dancer, if you look at Pontiff, and Champion Gundyr, the two phases that they have, each of those bosses have, they're very similar. So what you learn in the first phase really helps with the second phase in those. But obviously Nameless King is a completely different fight in the second phase. Which is nice, but I can see that I wasn't frustrated by it. I thought the first phase was spectacular. I'd say the first phase alone most probably is worthy of, top 2-3 bosses in the series so far, and then couple that in with the ridiculously good phase 2, definitely the best. But I can see some people getting frustrated by the fact that you have to go through a completely different fight to get to the harder part, which is phase 2. But the fortunate thing is with level 1, you can't rely on face tanking at all, so you got to learn the boss and each of its phases perfectly before you go on to learning the next phase. It forces you to do that anyway, which is the optimal way to learn a boss. And this is my first playthrough as well, so I haven't played the game before, which means that I'm learning the bosses from scratch. So I do have to take my time. The rings were really helpful there. So I had Steel Plate and Thunderstone Plate, and I was naked otherwise for fast roll. And I was able to tank probably like 30 to 40% of his attacks. Yeah, the ones that don't kill you outright, though, are easier to get hit by, in my opinion. They're a bit faster. The ones that one-shot you, they're a bit easier to avoid. Yeah, so I thought it was a great fight. I'll highlight it, probably do a post about it. The posts that I've been doing on Facebook, the Dark Souls community Facebook page, have been stalled a little bit. Took a really long time to get the Dancer fight approved. They probably are sick of me posting all the time. But my goal for tomorrow is to boot up Reddit, because they have a One Bros thread, and that is obviously the perfect place to put this. Yeah, so I'll just have to backtrack on all my posts and re-upload there. Probably try and do like maybe one a day on Reddit. I think I'm up to, on Facebook, I think my last one was 11 up to Dancer, so yeah. But yeah, pretty happy knocking Nameless King out today. That wasn't really the plan for the day. I wanted to learn. The plan for today was to learn Phase 2. Um, Previously, we just sort of fudged our way through Phase 2. I didn't really see the second part of Phase 2 much before today. So I'm really happy that we were able to learn that sort of first part of Phase 2 pretty well. The big strategy was when he does his big sweeping attack that puts him at a little bit of a distance to you, you have to keep that distance. You have to let him re-engage. You have to back off and let him re-engage. Because if you try and re-engage, then I found that I was dying a lot. He has really weird follow-ups if you decide to re-engage immediately. He'll do his big sweep, and then you'll move in, and he'll do his regular attack that he sometimes follows the sweep up with. You can't punish that because he'll follow that up as well, and it just gets him it just breaks the rhythm of the fight, I think. So my strategy was to disengage at that stage, and that worked a treat. That worked real wonders. We were able to push hard into the second part of that fight and really learn it. Yeah, it does drag the fight out a little bit, which is a bit frustrating. I feel as though even though it was probably 5.5 hours of attempts, I'd say far, far fewer than, like, Dancer was over 7 hours, so I think it was far, far fewer than any of the other hard bosses in this game, just because, like, even though it was a long time, the fights are so long, and I managed to figure out the first phase fairly quickly, so I'd say, probably like an hour into that practice, I was consistently getting through the first phase, and at the end there, mostly I was getting through the first phase without taking damage as well. So, yeah. Be happy to knock it out because now we have, I think there's 2 bosses in the main game left, and then we have the DLCs to go. So my hope is that I have one more stream during the week, this week, depending on my schedule, my personal schedule, my work schedule. I might stream another time during the week, but very likely it'll just have to wait for the weekend stream, so it'll either be Saturday or Sunday for me. Yeah, it'd be good to stream on Thursday or Friday actually if I can, because it seemed as though lots of people tend to come in at those times. But yeah, I don't know yet whether or not I will try and finish all of the main game bosses, because I think you can kill the last boss and then not go to New Game Plus. Kind of don't want to risk that though, so I'm thinking I might leave the last boss till the actual last, and then we'll be doing Ashes of Ariandel. So we'll do this area and this boss next, and then we'll probably go to Ashes of Ariandel after that. I'm hoping that we'll start dipping our toes into the DLC this weekend. Yeah, so far this playthrough has been 88 hours long, because I'm having to explore everything. I don't really know where items are. Some items I've looked up, so I looked up Lloyd's Shield Ring, because I knew it was a thing, and I just didn't find it, and I wanted it for the Dancer fight. I think I did like 4 hours of attempts on Dancer without Lloyd's Shield Ring, where I was just getting one shot by everything. It was silly. I did that fight mid-rolling as well accidentally. I think I should have just stuck to fast roll. Yeah, exciting. Probably expect to spend quite a lot of time in the DLC. I'm not just going to run to the bosses, because first of all, I don't really know how the DLC works. I don't know where they are. I'm going to be doing it blind, more or less, even though I have seen on like YouTube and stuff that many of the fights, pretty much everyone has. That's how you get into these games. But I don't really know how to get there, and I don't really know the mechanics of them. So, yeah, I'm pretty keen to. My goal for the DLC is to be able to kill every single mob enemy. Yeah, really keen for that, because I reckon. What would I say? Maybe like Lothric Castle probably has had the most hardcore mob enemies, and we've managed to kill all the different types of them up until this point. So there was the hardest one, the hardest mob enemy so far in this game had been the red-eyed Lothric Knights and the red-eyed Silver Knights. They have a pretty normal moveset, but both of those guys can one-shot me with their R2s and some of their thrust attacks as well. In fact, the Silver Knight, the red-eyed Silver Knight, every single attack one-shots you except for a shield bash, which is ridiculous, but, you know, I managed to kill him, so that's good. There is one mini-boss I haven't done. I haven't done the spider thing in Anor Londo, in the cathedral. I haven't actually killed that thing yet. I've done the one in what's it's called? Cathedral of the Deep. I've killed that one, but that one's arena is much nicer than the arena in Anor Londo. But now that I have a big +10 weapon, I should be able to go back and kill it. But yeah, I reckon the DLC, take my time with it. It'll be really fun. So far, the only point in this playthrough where I thought that doing a Soul Level 1 playthrough as the first playthrough was a mistake was Dancer. The first few hours of that were tormenting and really difficult to learn that fight. I maintain that it is the hardest in the series so far. I'd say much harder than Nameless King. But yeah. I expect the DLC to be pretty much back-to-back hardest boss fights ever. So, yeah. Alright, well, if you're still watching live, thanks for tuning in. I'll put up the highlight of Nameless King pretty much after dinner, I'd say. Next hour. And I might even highlight a couple of, like, if I can find one of the earlier attempts where I got so close and got done in. Yeah. And if you're watching the VOD back, thanks for watching it. And yeah, catch everyone in the next one.